Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me featuring products that I have not used on my channel before, either brand new, new to me, or I just haven't used them on my channel. I have them all laid out here in this handy dandy little tray. I'm using up some samples, a couple of drugstore products, mostly high end. So let's go ahead and get started. All I did so far was moisturizer and eye cream. So I am fresh faced, ready to go. For primer, I'm going to be using the NARS Pore and Shine Control Primer. This is for probably more oily skin, so I'm not going to use this all over my face. I'm actually going to use this mainly for my T-zone. And then I also have the Smashbox Under Eye Hydrating Primer. And that is specifically for the under eye area, so I'm going to use that, of course. So yeah, this pore one I'm just using right in the... And then the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. I'll use that under my eyes. I've only used this, I think, one other time. And I do think that the concealer I'm going to be using today might be a little bit drying, so probably not bad to pull in some. I'm using just a touch of the Cover FX Calming Primer on my chin area because this is actually drier and has a lot of active breakouts right now. So now that most of my face has a primer of some sort on it, I'm going to be using a couple of foundation samples as needed to cover my face. I have not tried these, so I can't say whether one sample is enough. This is the Amore Pacific Color Control Cushion Compact Broad Spectrum SPF 50, and this came in the Sephora Play Box for January. There's tan blush and almond blush. I have never opened this, so they're like little pods here. Okay, so the main part has like a sponge, a white side and a blue side. That was just the first pocket. The second pocket has a little cushion that I guess you just press on it, and I'm going to open the bottom one too. And the bottom one looks like a bit darker. Top one was just empty with the sponge in it, so you can see that. So I'm going to just try this. I'm just pressing the sponge into the cushion. Pressing it onto my face. I'm not loving this tiny sponge. This is going to take a while. So I will fast forward to this part and I will be back after I finished one coat. If I run low on it, I will mix in with the darker shade or a different foundation if needed. This is after one complete pass, and I've even double layered on some of the acne stuff, but I can still see the colors through this. So it doesn't claim to be full coverage or anything, but I was just hoping to not have to, you know, use a different product, but that's okay. I'm just doing one more pass at the major acne stuff I've got going on. Alright, so for concealer, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer, and I have it in the shade L3 Warm, and I'm going to be trying that. I do think this foundation was a pretty good color match, actually. Not too different from my neck, so that's good. This is very light, I can already tell you. Flawless concealer brush, I'm just tapping that in place. Oh yeah, that is brightening. Alright, pretty cool. Now I'm using the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. This is the e.l.f. small tapered brush. Try not to use too much of this. I don't think that this is the most hydrating of powders, so I'm just going to take what's left on the brush. I'm not adding any additional product to my forehead and my nose area. Alright, I'm going to try this darker shade of the duo for my contour or bronzer. But I'm going to not use this pad. This pad took forever to apply. I'm sure their full-size one comes with a larger pad, but like that was so tedious. This is the Sigma F04. This is called the Extreme Structure Contour. It's basically just a stiffer brush. I'm not sure how I'm going to like a contour brush in the in the cushion foundation, but I'm going to try it. So this is just a slightly darker shade of that foundation for bronzer. I think it's dark enough, but I could definitely go a shade darker. then I'm taking what's left right here on the sides of the nose. This isn't a cool tone shade, so it's not necessarily a contour, but just adding a little bit of shadow on the sides of the nose I think helps make your nose look a little bit slimmer. Like I said, I could have gone way darker for my contour bronzer, but I think that looks pretty natural. So not bad. I think if you were looking for light to medium coverage, you might be just fine with these foundations. For me, I need more full coverage because of all this. I could have spot concealed before, but I wanted to give the foundation a test, so I didn't spot conceal before. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. I am using NARS Goulue. It's Goulue. This was the one that was the 2016 Sephora gift if you made VIB Rouge, and I've never used this before. I just took out the little plastic liner, and now I'm using the e.l.f. blush brush. I chose this one because it's small. I wanted something that would fit into this tiny little compact. And I just tapped my brush into the product, and I'm tapping it a little bit onto my hand because I'm not sure. Okay, I just wanted to see like if it was really pigmented or if I didn't want to get clown cheeks. It is definitely pigmented. Oops, may have gone a little overboard. It's okay. I'm going to take what's on the brush, swirl it on the other cheek, and then come back now that the brush is more cleaned off. Maybe a bit much on the blush, but I'm going to roll with it. For highlighter, I'm using this for the first time. This is the Milk Makeup brand highlighter, and it's just a little stick highlighter. Put a little bit on my hand and just see what I'm working with here. Can't really see it. Maybe you can a little bit. I'm just going to use my finger, trying to warm up the product. And I'm just going to tap that right on the top of the cheekbone. Well, that's pretty. Touching my finger just to the tip of my nose and a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Now I'm using the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer to prime my eyes for shadow. While that's drying, I am going to go ahead and do this lip gloss. This is Bobbi Brown Kir Sugar, K-I-R Sugar 7 lip gloss. I just got this. This was out of stock online. I fell in love with it in the store. It looks super dark in the tube. I have never actually applied it, so. Kind of minty. It's really pretty, and I think this is something I could keep in my purse as like a one product. No lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss. Just use this, and it works. Enough pigment. I like that. There was something to it because I'm like, why would a Bobbi Brown lip gloss be out of stock? And now I know why. It's because it's amazing. All the other shades were in stock, and that one wasn't. I'm like, that's weird. Okay. For brows, real quick, I'm going to use this Maybelline New York Brow Satin. It's the Smoothing Duo Brow Pencil and Filling Powder. And I think this is in dark brown. It's a little bit too dark for me, but it's basically just a little pencil. And I'm taking tiny little strokes to fill in my eyebrows. I'm going very lightly with this because the color is pretty dark. So I don't need to press very hard to get it to make a full line. Use a spoolie real quick and just brush through that. And then I'm going in with the other side of the pencil, which is this powder. Now this is intense, so I have to be very careful. I'm just very lightly going through my brows with this. That's all I'm going to do for brows, so let's go ahead and move on to my eyes. For eyeshadow, I'm using two different quads. One is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one that I had received as a gift. So I have Sateen, Vanilla, Birkin, and Blushing, I think it's called. They're just pretty pale shades, nothing deep, and very natural looking. And then this is a CoverGirl quad. It is the 715 Stunning Smokies eyeshadow. And basically it has very glittery and some deeper smoky shades. And so I thought the two of these palettes together, I could make something really pretty. Like the one on its own is too light, and this one doesn't have a transition shade or anything, so put the two together, I got it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Anastasia Beverly Hills shadow here, and this is in Birkin. This is the Jessup Small Tapered Blending Brush. It's just a fluffy eyeshadow brush. And I'm taking Birkin and I'm putting it right in the crease and slightly above the crease. This is going to be a great transition shade. It's matte or maybe satin, but it's definitely not like shimmery or anything. And that is going to help everything else fade out more naturally. So I'm going to set this brush aside and I will come back to it for blending later. Now I'm using a deluxe crease brush. It's just like a pointed kind of brush. And I'm using that right underneath the brow. This is Anastasia's Vanilla eyeshadow. And this is more of a satin or matte off-white shade. I'm going to make the brows look lifted, make you look younger, less tired. Always good. And then, because that shadow is more matte or satin, I'm going to go into the white shade from the CoverGirl quad, and this one is more shimmery. And that's the one I'm going to use on the inner corner. I just use the same brush. So it may even have some more of that shadow I just used, Vanilla. Okay, so now let's get to work on the fun stuff, which is the smoky look. Alright, I paused it for several minutes till I could get this eye looking halfway decent. These CoverGirl shadows are not easy to work with, so if you're a beginner looking to do like a smoky eye, I don't recommend buying these CoverGirl shadows. They did not make it easy for me, and I know what I'm doing, so that was kind of a bummer. Alright, so the first thing I did was I took, these shades are all numbered, kind of hard to tell, but they're all numbered. So I'm taking shade 3, which is like a bluish gray, and that's just the shirt that I'm wearing, so that's kind of the inspiration. I took that shade with the e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, basically just a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm packing that all over my eyelid. Now you'll see this color is decently pigmented when I first apply it, but then as I blend it just disappears, and I have to keep reapplying it. So I am not doing like a cat eye shape where I do emphasis on the outer V today, which is like almost always what I do for eye shapes. Today I'm doing a halo eye where I do the lightest shade, which is this blue, on the center of the lid, and then dark surrounding it. So it's a little bit of a different shape. So I'm going to set that brush aside. Now I'm using the e.l.f. contour brush, which is a very skinny, stiff brush, and I'm using shade 4, the black color in there. And I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to kind of sandwich that dark blue, that blue that we just did. I'm going to do some black on the outer eye and on the inner corner of the eye a little bit. Not all the way in the corner, but like on the inner quarter here. So that only the center is the light blue shade. Then what I do is I take, and it looks crazy right now, but take what's left on the brush and I'm connecting the two in the crease. And then I'm going to do blending. This is the Birkin brush that I used with the light brown. I'm blending out the edges first, and then I've got to go back in and re-highlight the center in that bluish shade. Back on the lid. And then you just keep repeating those steps until you have it the way you want it, where the upper edge is blended out with the brown. You have a little bit of definition between the black, blue, black, but it's not carrying up over to the brow bone, like looking harsh. You just kind of keep going back and forth, tapping it out, blushing, blending it out, brushing on, blending it out. And then you can take a big fluffy brush underneath the eye and clean up any powder that has fallen. Then I went back in with the bluish shade on that same brush and just did a little bit of a under eye definition. And then I went in with the brush that I used Birkin on, the light brown, and blended it out. So it's going to fade from like grayish blue at the lash line to a little bit more warm. Now I'm taking Marc Jacobs eyeliner. This is his Highliner Gel Crayon, and it's a blacker. Do a line on the top lash line. Now some mascara. I'm using Blink brand, B-L-I-N-C, Mascara Amplified. It's a tubing mascara. If you haven't used a tubing mascara, it is kind of weird. So rather than just like painting them, it's actually painting them with a product that makes your lashes like encapsulate kind of a thing. Like it creates this like almost like makes your lashes like in a package. So when you take off your mascara at the end of the day, it doesn't just come off like in watery black, you know, whatever. It actually comes off in chunks. The tubes that were surrounding your lashes come off. It looks crazy. It looks like you're washing your eyelashes down the sink, but it's just your mascara. Got real close for you to see that the foundation is clinging to the dry skin on my nose really badly. Then a little bit like right around here. So I'm just going to do a light dusting of powder and some setting spray, but that pretty much finishes out this look using all new products, or new-ish, new to me. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Hope you enjoy when I do a different kind of look, not just your standard like light shimmery lid shade with dark outer V. Do that all the time, so I wanted to change it up for you guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell so you'll be notified when I put out a new video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.